Hurriedly after announcing that they would be taping without audiences beginning next week, three of the top late-night talk shows took things a step further and are suspending production altogether. Jimmy Fallon, meanwhile, gave fans a sneak peek of what a show without an audience might look like on Thursday night. Perhaps shutting down is better, unless you love really awkward moments and lots of unexpected silence. While he'd originally planned to have an audience for this final taping of this week, due to escalating cancellations and concerns over the spread of the COVID-19 coronavirus, Fallon and his team opted to forego the audience and simply forge ahead with a limited staff and crew. As such, Fallon performed his monologue from behind his desk with smaller handheld cards rather than cue cards. And he delivered the standard setup punchline format without an audience to respond or laugh or groan with each joke. It's a fascinatingly awkward experience to watch as announcer Steve Higgins and bandleader Questlove laugh and try to interact with him, but even their involvement, along with a few other staffers who came in, just can't overturn the feeling that something is seriously off. As uncomfortably surreal as when Whoopi Goldberg welcomed an empty studio audience to The View, their lack of presence is even more jarring when you throw in the element of comedy. Comedians feed off of the energy of the crowd, which is why sitcoms have often used live studio audiences, or even laugh tracks, to help share that energy with home audiences. Fallon was fully aware of how strange the experience of doing this type of comedy without an audience was, giggling and shifting uncomfortably from behind the desk at the echoing silence throughout the studio, but he powered through with quick asides and even his famous Trump impression at one point. Trump wanted to give a speech to reassure the nation that everything is gonna be okay, and I think it worked, he said. Today the stock market only dropped 2,000 points. The scattered laughter was just too much for Fallon to handle and he broke himself. Don't misunderstand, there was a lot to enjoy and laugh at during this monologue, but almost none of it had to do with Fallon's material, which was its usual, fine. He even explained why some of the jokes were sitting awkwardly. Normally when we do this, we rehearse these jokes in front of a rehearsal audience, he said, asking us to bear that in mind to help justify the ones that go flat. So the audience not only helps the material feel funnier, they're actually instrumental in shaping the monologue and the whole traditional late-night format.